Behind the quiet highways and historic landmarks are places where people claim the past still moves in the dark. Ghost towns, haunted hotels, cursed cemeteries, and battle-scarred landscapes all carry legends that have lasted for generations. These are the 10 most haunted locations in South Dakota. Number 10. The Bullock Hotel. In the old mining town of Deadwood stands one of South Dakota's most famous haunted hotels, the Bullock Hotel. It was built by Seth Bullock, the legendary sheriff and businessman who helped shape Deadwood during its roughest years. Bullock was known as a strict, powerful figure, and according to many guests and staff, he never truly left. People have reported footsteps in empty hallways, objects moving on their own, strange knocking sounds, and the feeling of being watched from the shadows. Some say Seth Bullock's spirit still patrols the hotel, making sure everything is running the way he would have wanted. Guests have described seeing a tall figure in old-fashioned clothing, especially near the restaurant, hallways, and upper floors. And in Deadwood, a town already filled with violent history, the Bullock Hotel remains one of the most active haunted places in the state. Number 9. Mount Moriah Cemetery. High above Deadwood sits Mount Moriah Cemetery, the final resting place of some of the Wild West's most legendary figures. This cemetery holds the graves of Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, Seth Bullock, and many others who lived and died during Deadwood's lawless frontier days. But visitors say Mount Moriah is more than just historic. They claim the atmosphere changes as you walk between the graves. People have reported cold spots, shadowy figures, whispers, and the feeling that someone is walking behind them when no one is there. Some visitors say they have seen ghostly shapes near the graves of Wild Bill and Calamity Jane, two figures whose legends have only grown after death. The cemetery is quiet, isolated, and surrounded by dark trees, making it one of the most unsettling places in Deadwood after sunset. Number 8. The Hotel Alex Johnson. In Rapid City, the historic Hotel Alex Johnson has a reputation as one of South Dakota's most haunted buildings. Opened in the 1920s, the hotel has hosted presidents, celebrities, travelers, and generations of guests. But it is also known for several ghost stories that have become part of its identity. The most famous spirit is known as the Lady in White. According to legend, she was a young woman who died after falling from one of the upper floors. Some believe it was suicide. Others suspect something darker. Guests have reported seeing a woman in white wandering the halls. Others say their windows open on their own, drawers slide out by themselves, and unseen hands tug at the bedding. Room 812 is especially famous for paranormal activity. People have described strange noises, flickering lights, and the feeling that someone is standing beside the bed in the middle of the night. The Hotel Alex Johnson may look elegant, but many believe its walls are holding on to something tragic. Number 7. Adams House. Also located in Deadwood, the Adams House is one of the best preserved historic homes in the Black Hills. Built in the late 1800s, the house belonged to W.E. Adams, a wealthy businessman and former mayor. After his death, the home was left almost frozen in time, with many original belongings still inside, and that may be why some believe the spirits never left. Visitors and staff have reported unexplained footsteps, doors opening and closing, and the sensation of being watched from rooms that should be empty. Some say the energy inside the house feels heavy, as if the people who once lived there are still attached to it. Unlike some haunted places, Adams House does not need dramatic legends to feel eerie. Its power comes from how untouched it feels. Walking through the rooms is like stepping into a life that stopped suddenly, but never fully ended. Number 6. The Orpheum Theatre. In Sioux Falls, the historic Orpheum Theatre has entertained crowds for more than a century. But when the seats are empty and the stage lights are off, Some say the theatre becomes something else entirely. Staff and visitors have reported strange sounds, footsteps backstage, unexplained voices, and objects moving without explanation. The most famous ghost is believed to be Larry, a spirit said to haunt the theatre. People claim Larry makes his presence known through cold spots, sudden noises, and strange activity behind the scenes. Theatres are already known for ghost stories. They hold emotion, performance, tragedy, applause, and silence. The Orpheum Theatre has all of that, layered over decades. And for those who work there, the feeling is clear. After the audience leaves, someone may still be watching from the dark. Number 5. Old Minnehaha County Courthouse. The old Minnehaha County Courthouse in Sioux Falls is one of the city's most historic buildings. Constructed from pink Sioux quartzite in the late 1800s, it once served as a center of law, judgment, conflict, and punishment. Today, it operates as a museum, but many believe its past still lingers in the stone. Visitors and staff have reported disembodied voices, footsteps echoing through empty halls, and doors opening or closing on their own. Some say they have felt sudden cold air in certain parts of the building, even when there is no clear source. Old courthouses often carry intense energy. They were places where lives changed forever, where people were sentenced, families were torn apart, and justice was decided. In this building, that history feels close. Too close. Number 4. Fort Sisseton. In northeastern South Dakota, Fort Sisseton stands as one of the state's most historic military sites. Established in the 1860s, the fort once housed soldiers stationed on the frontier. Life there was isolated, difficult, and harsh. Today, many of the original buildings remain, and visitors say the fort has an unmistakable haunted feeling. Reports include shadow figures, unexplained footsteps, strange voices, and the sensation of being watched from inside old barracks. Some claim to have seen ghostly soldiers moving across the grounds. Others say certain buildings feel heavy, as if something unseen is still occupying them. Fort Sisseton is surrounded by open land, which makes the silence even more intense. At night, the emptiness around the fort can feel endless. And when footsteps echo from a building no one has entered, the past suddenly feels very alive. Number 3. The Homestake Opera House. In Lead, South Dakota, the Homestake Opera House has a long and dramatic history. Built in the early 1900s by the Homestake Mining Company, it became a cultural center for a town shaped by gold, labor, and danger. But after a major fire in the 1980s, parts of the building were left damaged for years. Some believe that fire awakened something inside. Visitors and workers have reported phantom footsteps, strange voices, and the feeling of unseen figures moving through the theater. Like many old performance spaces, the Homestake Opera House seems to hold on to the emotional energy of the people who pass through it. Miners, performers, workers, audiences, all connected to a building that survived both glory and ruin. Some say the spirits here are not violent. They are simply still present, still waiting, still listening. Number 2. Seeker Hollow State Park. One of the darkest legends in South Dakota belongs to Seeker Hollow State Park. Located in the northeastern part of the state, Seeker Hollow has long been tied to Native American legends, strange red-tinted water, and stories of spirits in the trees. The name Seeker is often connected to ideas of evil or bad energy, and the landscape itself feels different from the surrounding area. Visitors have reported hearing screams, whispers, unexplained footsteps, and crying sounds coming from deep within the woods. Some say they have seen shadowy figures moving between the trees. Others claim the trails feel disorienting, as if the forest is trying to pull them away from where they came from. The red color in some of the water has inspired stories of blood and ancient violence, adding to the park's sinister reputation. Whether the legends are history, folklore, or something stranger, Seeker Hollow has become one of South Dakota's most feared haunted locations. Number 1. Deadwood. At number 1 is not just one building, it is an entire town. Deadwood is one of the most haunted places in South Dakota, and maybe one of the most haunted towns in America. Founded during the Black Hills Gold Rush, Deadwood was a town of gambling, gunfights, disease, murder, and sudden death. People came looking for fortune. Many found a grave instead. Wild Bill Hickok was shot in the back of the head while playing poker here. Outlaws, miners, lawmen, and gamblers all left their marks on the town, and according to countless reports, some of them never left. Hauntings have been reported in hotels, saloons, theaters, cemeteries, and historic buildings throughout Deadwood. Visitors describe apparitions in old-fashioned clothing, phantom footsteps on wooden floors, voices in empty rooms, and the feeling of being surrounded by people who cannot be seen. The town feels alive with history, but also with something darker. Every street has a story. Every building has a past. And in Deadwood, the line between legend and ghost story is almost impossible to separate. That is why Deadwood earns the top spot as the most haunted location in South Dakota. South Dakota may look quiet from the outside, but its haunted history runs deep. From the ghostly halls of the Bullock Hotel to the dark woods of Seeker Hollow, from forgotten forts to the restless streets of Deadwood, these places remind us that the past does not always stay buried. Some hauntings begin with tragedy, some begin with violence, and some begin in places where history became so powerful, it never fully faded away. If you enjoyed this countdown, like the video, subscribe for more haunted locations, and comment which South Dakota ghost story you think is the most terrifying.